Plus, I want to be able to fit in my seat this year. I don't want to have to buy a new seat, so.
Alright, any last schedule the distance for your LMC sport monitor. No, it's here we go. Here comes 21 down the back straightaway. Here comes Tyler.
Hey everybody, it's Jeremiah at Reed Racing. It's been a week since we uploaded a video. I haven't had enough time to shoot enough footage or edit the next video, so I thought I'd do instead of waiting, I thought I'd do a quick little video in the meantime. I know I'm a little late to the party with my idea, but I'm gonna go over my 2020 goals. So follow along. I'm not gonna tell you guys what or how many goals there are, but keep track and put a comment down below with the number of goals that I came up with and why you think I chose that number of goals. The first person to comment the right number and why, I'll send a free t-shirt. Sizes are kind of limited right now, but we will be getting more eventually. But we have black and gray. They look like this. This one's a little dirty because I was working outside. We got about 4 to 6 inches of snow today. So I just got done clearing the driveway right before this, but I'll announce who the winner is in the comments, and then you can head over to our Facebook page and message me, and we'll get it set up to get the shirt coming your way. So with that, the first goal that I have this year is I want to get to 500 subscribers. Growing a channel this small is kind of hard because a lot of the channels I'm going up against have 40, 50,000 subscribers, and right now, well, as of January 1st, I only had 54. So obviously, if they're getting 40,000 people that are getting a notification every time they post a video where I got 50, obviously a lot more people are seeing their videos. YouTube's going to recommend them more, and they're going to get more shots for people to subscribe. So I have 54 as of January 1st. I have 61 currently. You guys can help with this if you want. Some of the ways that you can help: the more you like the videos, the longer you watch them without clicking off, the more comments you leave, the more you share the video, the more YouTube will recommend it to new people who can subscribe to it. So if you guys want to help with that, just make sure to like, comment, share. If you haven't already subscribed to the video, that'll help me get to my goal of 500 subscribers this year. The next goal, I would like to win a Heat Racer feature this year. Last year, I had a couple heat races where I think I finished third, and then I had a best finish of fifth in the feature. I definitely think it's a very achievable goal to win a heat or a feature. If I was to say and a feature, that may be a little more difficult, obviously. But I definitely think it's achievable. Obviously, with the bad luck I had this year, I didn't have as many opportunities to get good finishes as I wanted. But I definitely think winning, especially a heat race and maybe a feature, is definitely an achievable goal. The next goal that I have is to finish top 3 in points at either Sports Park Raceway in Fort Dodge or at Hamilton County Speedway in Webster City. They're both my local tracks, so I'll be racing there weekly. Webster City has their schedule announced already. I'm still waiting on Fort Dodge, but once I have all the schedules posted, I'm planning on doing a video kind of running through our 2020 schedule and what we plan on doing, what we'd like to do, stuff like that. So I'd like to finish top 3 in either Fort Dodge or Webster, again, or not and. I missed 5 races in Fort Dodge this year, still managed to get 12th in points. So I plan on being at all the races. I planned on being at all the races in Fort Dodge this year, but with motor issues, I kind of missed the peak part of the season where a lot of the races were happening. So I definitely think that's doable. So top 3 in Fort Dodge or Webster. Webster this year I missed 2 races and still got 11 points. I was only 13 points from being in the top 10, which was kind of my goal after I got my motor back together, was to get into the top 10, and I just missed it by 13 points. So, but this year I'd like to get top 3 in Fort Dodge or Webster and make all the shows. My next goal is to make the Supernats A main qualifier and finish better than last year. This last year I finished 3rd in my heat race. I started 5th, I believe, and made my way up to 4th, was kind of running down 2nd and 3rd. They were battling. If you want to actually watch it, I'll put a link up in the top corner to that video. I got up to 4th, was running down 2nd and 3rd. They were kind of running side by side. They actually took themselves out going into 1 and 2 on one of the laps, and I just barely got to the high side of them to go around and miss it. And so I went full throttle through 1 and 2. After that, ran hard through 3 and 4. Came out of 4. For some reason, I thought the caution came out, so I lifted off the throttle. And when I went down into 3 and 4, the guy in 3rd, at the time I was in 2nd, made a run to my inside. Well, I got a good run off the high side coming out of 4, and I thought the yellow came out. I was going to clear him, but I lifted because I thought the yellow was going to come out, and he got by me, and then I realized it was still green and had that oh crap moment. Got back in the throttle, drove hard to because I wasn't sure where the 4th place was, and you only got to the A qualifier if you finished in the top 3. So I started driving a little harder after that, just to make sure that I was going to stay in 3rd. Felt like I was faster than the guy in 2nd, but I also felt like I got lucky because I don't know that I would have got around the 2nd, 3rd place guys before they wrecked. I was definitely catching them, but they were also racing side by side. So I felt like I got a little lucky this year. In the feature, I'll also leave a link in the top of the video for to watch the A feature. But I believe I started 22nd and finished 14th. There was a lot of chaos, a lot of collisions, a lot of cars that were either too damaged to continue or got kicked off because they were involved in too many yellows. Had a lot of near misses where I could have been involved, especially the first one. I just barely missed that one. Like I said, there's a link in the top of the video just if you want to watch that. But I ended up coming home 14th. I think there's 15 cars running at the end of it. All in all, it took an hour for that race. It was only, 20 laps or so. So those usually take 10 or 15 minutes, and it took an hour. So I finished 14th. I ended up spinning out towards the end of the race. The car wasn't quite dialed in. I was too loose. So I ended up on the infield a couple times because I got loose coming out of the corners, and then I finally spun around towards the end of the race. Got it going again before the caution came out. It was kind of a solo spin. There was one guy behind me. He just missed me. Solo spin, got it going again, and then I actually started trying a different line because at that point I didn't have anything to lose. I started running a little bit higher, and I found some speed up there. Had a little more grip, so my car was able to work better up there. And I felt like once I got way up there, the leader was still faster than me, obviously, but he wasn't running me down quite like he had before. So I finished 14th. I kind of felt lucky that I got into the A qualifier, so this year I'd like to make it and feel like I drove my way in, not just kind of got lucky. So my next goal is to get 3 new sponsors this year, beyond what I already have. So I have 4 that have confirmed they're returning from 2019. That would be Undergrounding Tattoo out of Webster City, Ralph's Tap out of Moreland, Mirror Image out of Fort Dodge, and then Capturing Moments Photography out of Otho. They've all confirmed that they're going to support us again this year. And then we have H&R Block that just came on with us out of Webster City, so make sure to check out all their links in the descriptions below. And this is something you guys can also help with. If you know of any companies or you own a company that would be interested in helping us out this year, obviously we do a lot of advertisement for the companies that partner with us. We'd like to continue to elevate those companies at the same time that they're helping elevate our race team. So if you know of anybody or you own a business that would be interested in helping us out, feel free to email me. I'll leave the team email in the description below. So yeah, I'd like to get 3 new partners this year. So my next goal, the rest are kind of not racing goals, but more of a little bit personal goals. My next goal would be to get the garage organized a lot better than what it is. Everything's kind of in chaos right now. There's too much stuff in there, stuff that I either have yet to get rid of or can't get rid of. Like some of the scrap metal, I'm kind of waiting for the prices to go up because scrap's not really worth anything right now. So that's taking up some space, but that's not the only issue. There's some projects that I need to finish, stuff like that. I'd like to eventually, sometime this year get to a point where everything is in its place, everything's organized, so that when I take something out, it's going back here, that's where it's going to stay, it's not in the way, stuff like that. And then I'll probably I'll probably build a couple racks or organizing deals of some sort. I'd like to build a rack for all the gears that I use for the race car. With running a 9-inch instead of a quick change, we got to keep, to run all the tracks, you got to keep 5, 6, 8, 9, 7, 8, 9 sets of gears on hand, and they kind of just take up space. So I'd like to build a rack that does kind of sit in, that gets them up off the floor. Right now I have them kind of laying on towels, so they're not just laying straight on the concrete. Some of them are sitting in those dollies that I use to help change the gears. I already built a tire rack to hold all the tires in the back of the garage, but there's other stuff that I'd like to build too. So my next goal would be to get back in shape. 2018, I was in my last year of college. I was living in Des Moines part of the year, and while I was down there, I started working out at Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping in Urbandale. Give Denise a call if you're in that area and you are interested in getting back in shape. It's a great program, but I started that program at the time. Didn't really need to lose weight, but wanted to get in better shape. So I started that program. I ended up coaching for the program. Got in really good shape. When I started racing more during the season, then I kind of fell off of that wagon and started losing some of the fitness that I had. So, plus I want to be able to fit in my seat this year. I don't want to have to buy a new seat, so I need to get on that. I got a couple months left before first night that we have planned, so I would like to get back in shape before, especially before the season starts, at least somewhat, so I don't have to buy a new seat. So my next goal would be to find a new job that I enjoy going to every day. I'm trying not to move because of where I'm located. There's a lot of tracks in my area. I don't have to travel very far to go racing. Sports Park Raceway is 5 minutes from my house. Hamilton County Speedway is 20 minutes from my house. Boone is 45 minutes from my house, just for an example. So basically there's enough tracks close enough to me that I can race about any night of the week and be within an hour and a half of home. So trying not to move if I don't have to. All the previous jobs that I've had, whether it was in college or not, has been more just to pay my bills and be able to do the things I want to do outside of work rather than enjoying what I do at work and still being able to do that. The job I had after I graduated in December of 2018 that I've had for the last year, wouldn't say that I don't enjoy it, but it's not something I look forward to doing every day. It pays well. It allowed me to be able to race this year, and so I'm grateful for that. But I would like to find something that when I go to work every day, I'm enjoying it. I want to get up and go to work. I don't want to, I'm not sitting there dreading being at work and, watching the time go by so I can go home and work on the race car kind of thing. So I'd eventually like to start my own company, but with the funding I have right now, I don't foresee that happening in the near future, maybe a couple years down the road. My next goal would be to make it to a big race this year, not a local race. Like I said in the previous goal, Boone is only 45 minutes from my house. That's where Super Nationals is, so I only have to go 45 minutes to race Super Nationals. We still stayed down there this year, but we don't necessarily have to stay down there to be able to race. And then the USRA Nationals is at Hamilton County Speedway, which is 20 minutes from my house. So those two big races for the two sanctions that we run aren't that far away. I would like to go to Deer Creek in Minnesota for the Harris Clash. That's 3-4 hour drive. It's not terrible, but that's still not. I'd still like to go to a race that would be farther away than that. One that I wanted to do this year was Vegas. The funding just wasn't there to do it this year. So I would like to go to Vegas at the end of this year if it's feasible. So I only listed a couple tracks and a couple races for the big races that I'd like to go race. But if I can't race, I'd like to go watch. If you guys have any that I didn't list that you can think of, or maybe your favorite race to go to, leave a comment down below, and maybe I'll end up being at that race this year. But that is the end of the goals. Make sure you count those up. Leave the number in the comments below along with your guess as to why I picked that number. Make sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment like I said, and check out the links below. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, check out our sponsor links, and we'll see you in the next video.